Hey Book Dragons, welcome back. We're doing a book tag today. Let's go. So I was tagged in the 1001 Books tag by Joe and Mary over at Book Buds. If you have not checked out their channel, you are really missing out. I'll leave a link in the description below so that you can go check them out and watch their channel, guys. They are a lot of fun. They're just two friends who love being together and love to talk about books together, and their channel is so fun. I highly recommend it. And this was a fun tag. And so let's get right to it, guys. See what my answers are. The first question is 1001 lists. Do you follow any book lists? I don't actually, and I'm assuming this is stuff like different lists of all the most popular books that you need to read before you die, things like that. I don't follow any of those lists, actually. I've seen quite a few of them, and I don't know. I just feel too tied down by following lists like that. Just because there's 10 books that you need to read before you die doesn't mean I want to read those books. I don't know. So, yeah, I don't follow anything like that. I think that's what the question is asking. 1001 books. Approximately how many physical books do you own? And how many ebooks? Well, let's start with the ebooks. I currently own 363 ebooks. Have I read all of those? No. but but they're there anyway. They're on my Kindle, so I own a lot of ebooks, and many of them I haven't read. As far as physical books, gosh, I don't know. I would have to say probably at least, I would say probably at least 150 physical books. Many of which I have not read of those either. Some I have, some I haven't. So yeah, I've got a lot of books, guys. A lot of books. I've recently discovered that I may need to get another bookcase. We'll see. I may be able to commandeer one from another room in the house. Maybe. We'll see. 1001 books read. Approximately how many books have you read in your lifetime? And do you keep track? I don't keep track really. Well, no, I do. I take that back. I keep track on Goodreads now. I was not always good about keeping up with my Goodreads and tracking the books I read. I've gotten better about that now that I've been on BookTube for a couple of years. I track my books pretty regularly because, I want to know where I'm at and how I'm doing with my goals, things like that. But I didn't really keep as good a track before, and I'm in my mid 40s, and I don't know how many I've read over my lifetime. Probably at least 300 or 400. Probably more than that, but I wasn't always as voracious a reader as I am now. So I'm thinking if I look back over my life and the books I read, I don't know, it probably amounts to at least 300 or 400. But of what I've tracked on Goodreads so far, it's about 200. But that doesn't count because, I've only been on Goodreads about maybe 10 years, 15 years, and at the beginning I just wasn't staying on top of it. So there you go. Long-winded answer to that question. Oh, let's see here. 1001 Arabian Nights. Have you read any stories from the Arabian Nights? No, I have not. Do you have a favorite? Well, I don't because I haven't read any of the stories. Although I think Aladdin is from the Arabian Nights, if I'm not mistaken. The original story that inspired Aladdin. I could be wrong. I don't know for sure. I'll put it up here if I'm right. I'll put it on the screen. But yeah, so I haven't read it, so I don't know. If you haven't read it, do you want to? Uh, I don't know. Maybe it might be interesting. Yeah, I might one of these days. If you think I should read the Arabian Nights, leave me a comment about it down below, okay? 1001 flavors. Do you have a favorite food or flavor? Oh, goodness. I do. I tend to prefer Oriental foods. I love Chinese food, Japanese food, Vietnamese food, Thai food. I guess Thai would be considered more Polynesian than Asian, but it's kind of all similar flavors. They're all very they specialize in savory flavors and spicy things, and so yeah, I love stuff like that. Chinese is probably my favorite of those, and so yeah, and while I do like sweet things, I tend to prefer more savory foods or sweet and savory, like sweet and sour chicken is a huge favorite of mine. Orange chicken is great. Now, if you were to ask me flavors of ice cream, am I allowed to go there? Because I think I would say that my favorite types of ice cream are cookie dough, which I probably shouldn't eat too much of, because cookie dough is probably not good to be eaten in large quantities. And cookies and cream. I love cookies and cream, or anything with chocolate in it. So yeah, flavors like that, I'm all about that. And if you feed me cheesecake, you will have me as your slave. I love cheesecake. Oh my goodness, do I love cheesecake. My body does not always love me for loving cheesecake, but I love cheesecake. So yeah, there you go. That's another very long-winded answer. 1001 pages. Have you read a book that's over 1,000 pages? I have. Yes, I've read several, actually. Is there one you recommend that is worth the time? Yes. There's several. In fact, I believe most of the Stormlight Archive books are over 1,000 pages. I know the more recent ones are like Oathbringer, Rhythm of War, are over 1,001 pages, and I highly recommend those books. I count Lord of the Rings as one book, which puts that easily over 1,000 pages. I think it's about 1,200 pages actually, and that's not counting the appendices. So I highly recommend anyone to read The Lord of the Rings. I think some of the Game of Thrones books are over 1,000 pages as well. The Song of Ice and Fire books. So I highly recommend those as well. So yes. What is the longest book you have read? I don't know. It probably would be The Lord of the Rings. Yeah. 1001 buckets. Do you have a non-bookish bucket list? Yes, I do. What is one thing on it? A trip to Ireland. That is at the very top, the tippy top of my bucket list is a trip to Ireland. And I am actually planning on it, not this summer, but next summer. I promised my kids that once high school was over, I would take them to Ireland. And it's a promise that's kind of for me as well, because I really want to go to Ireland. So I've taken the first step in that. I just got my passport. I'm going to visit a friend in Virginia in March, and I decided, well, I might as well get my passport because TSA won't accept my driver's license now. So I'll just get my passport since I'm going to be using it for Ireland anyway. So I've started the journey, so it's getting there very slowly. But yeah, Ireland is on my bucket list. Yeah, it's mostly travel destinations. I'd like to go to Denmark. I think it would be cool to go to Japan. I'd love to go to Canada. So it's mostly travel stuff on my bucket list. Yeah. 1001 numbers. Do you have a lucky number, and is there a story behind it? I don't. Nope, no lucky number. I'm Irish, so I'm just automatically lucky, right? Or at least that's what they say. That doesn't always ring true. But yeah, I don't have a lucky number. 1001 authors. Do you have a favorite author and or genre? Oh my goodness, yes. And if you haven't gotten tired of hearing me say it up to this point, my favorite author is Neil Gaiman. I will read and have read anything that he writes. I've almost read all of his adult fiction. Almost. There's a few that I still haven't read. But he is my absolute favorite author of all time currently. And I say currently because it could change, right? At one point, Terry Brooks was my favorite author, and then Neil Gaiman knocked him a step down. He's now my second favorite author because Neil is my first favorite author. But yeah, love Neil Gaiman. And do I have a favorite genre? Yes, my favorite genre is all things fantasy. Absolutely, hands down, fantasy. 1001 activities. Do you have a favorite outdoor activity? I don't. I like going for walks. Nature walks are really cool to me. I'm not really one for hiking, but I like walks. I like going on walks, and nature walks are just a really great time for me. So I like going to the park and sitting under trees and things like that, and yeah. So I guess that would be my favorite outdoor activity. Oh no, you know what? There is one that's better, I think. And that would be walking on the beach. So it incorporates walking, right? But it's specifically a walk on the beach. I love walking on the beach. I don't necessarily like the feel of sand between my toes, but I still like walking on the beach. It's mainly just being there to experience the waves and the calmness of the ocean. And oh, man, I love the beach. So, yeah, there you have it. That's my outdoor activity for you. 1001 friends. Tag some friends. So, do I have to have 1001 friends to tag? Because that could make this part of the video really long. I'm assuming not. So I'm just gonna tag a few and see where it goes. I'm gonna tag my friend Dr. Philip Chase. I don't know if he'll see this, but maybe he will. I would love to see his answers to this. I am going to tag Joanna. Her channel is Joanna, and she's a fantastic booktuber. I love her to death. She's great. I'm also going to tag Ariel over at Reading and Whatnot. And let's see, who else can I tag in this? I don't know if he really likes to do tags, but I'm going to go ahead and tag Dan over at Treebeard Book Reviews. And I think that about covers it. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed the tag. Talk to me in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on what I shared. Let me know some of your answers to this tag. Or maybe you've already done this tag and you'd like me to go watch your version of the tag. Let me know in the comments. Until next time, guys, make sure that you are reading more books. And yes, I just dropped my glasses. Oy. Make sure you're reading more books. I'll talk to you soon.